Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about the Tower of Babel. We're going to be talking about the division of language. We're going to be talking about Genesis chapter 11 and basically what happens during the Tower of Babel. This is a very interesting biblical story here. And before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. So in this biblical story, there's a lot that happens. There's a lot that we can understand here. So basically, what happens is um, we get this point where humans are on the face of the earth, and basically, God is watching over them, and humans get this idea that they need to build a city, a tower. And this in this city they're going to have this tower, and this tower is going to reach up to the heavens. Now keep in mind, Genesis chapter 11 tells us right away that during this time on earth, men spoke one language. So there was only one tongue. It wasn't Chinese, English. It was just one tongue. It doesn't tell us specifically what tongue this is, but we're told that there was one tongue at this time. And so the people, they come into the plains of Babel, and they decide to start building the city. They have one tongue, and so they say they're going to reach the heavens, and they're going to make a name for themselves, which is quite interesting. It's kind of like, humans have this idea of pretty much being gods, of being ultra powerful, of being the makers and creators of the universe. And so the way that Genesis chapter 11 tells us about this, it's like, humans, they wanted to make a name for themselves. They didn't want to be scattered all over the earth. They wanted to become one and to, build power, or somehow become so enlightened, or so powerful that they would climb up to the heavens and be like gods. And so God comes down and he sees this, and he pretty much, he divides them all. And God says, humans, if they've begun to do this, and their unity, there's nothing that that they won't do when put to their minds. And that's something that's quite, um, you know well, in the Bible, I have to say it's one of those sentences, one of those verses that really makes you think, where God says, if they put their minds together, there's nothing that they won't be able to do. For me, that's a very interesting, very crazy verse, and because it's very scary. And the reason why I say it's scary is because, right there, God is saying that when humans join together, um and they're united in under one cause, they can do whatever they want, which is kind of very dark. Because why I say that's dark is because, well, humans are sinful. And so imagine an army of sinful beings that's united, and they're willing to do whatever that's in their hearts. That's something about humankind that is, quite scary, because it pretty much tells us that, um, you know, if humans unite under one cause, there's not a sin, there's not a wicked sin in their minds that they won't do, that they won't go after to create. And when we look at the world today, every device, every thing that humans being create, it's to sin. A lot of times it's to sin against God, it's to do things that are not virtuous, that are not holy, that are not righteous. And so, for me, that's a very revealing, a very, it's a sentence that's uttered in the Bible that's very trembling, I guess you can say. So within the story, within this time period of Babel, God, this is where the languages of the earth come from. Like, we have so many different languages in the earth: Chinese, English, Spanish, all types of African languages, European languages. So there's languages, all over the world. And basically, the Bible tells us that this is how the languages came about. Humans united to create this abomination, to climb up into into the heavens. God came down. He put a stop to it. To put a stop to the wickedness. And he divided their language, and they all started babbling in different tongues, and that's where we get the world languages. That's where we get the different languages of the world. The story of Babel, it's one of those stories that really makes you think, because there's a lot you can really uncover for it in terms of deeper meaning here. It says a lot about human beings. It says a lot about what we're capable of when we join together, and how horrible that can be, because under this unification within this biblical story, under this unification, what did we try to do? We try to become gods. We try to make ourselves into God, and a God that is sinful, that is only after what's in his heart, is something that is not holy, that is not good, and God put a stop to it. And the way that He chose to put a stop to it is by dividing them and breaking the city, the tower apart. And so that is something that needs to be reflected on in the Bible, and it goes on even more than that. The story of Babel really gives us an account of what early man was like. This is a type of man that did not seek God. They tried to seek to be their own leaders, to be their own gods. They tried everything that they could to govern themselves. But the things like the God makes it very clear that the universe was created by Him for Him, and He's not going to give up His throne for anybody. No matter who tries to climb up into the heavens, whether it is Lucifer or human beings trying to create a tower for themselves, God's not giving up His throne for everybody, for anybody. So that is definitely something that needs to be taken a look at within the Bible, and to be reflected upon as well. But that's the story of Babel. That's what happens within Babel. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.